and I'm going to do it right now.
She's frozen mid-pose in a shimmering gold gown, fireworks cracking the sky behind her like a war zone of light, a stadium roaring her name, Beyonce, the untouchable queen of perfection, commanding the Super Bowl stage with a kind of robotic precision that feels almost inhuman. That image is burned into the public's brain. Flawless, divine, untouchable. But according to Jason Lee, that glittering facade is about to be ripped wide open. While the world bows at every step she takes, he's whispering about a story the Carter camp has allegedly fought like a military operation to keep buried. And it doesn't start with Ivy Park or Billboard hit.
Know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people.
It starts with two children whose names are rarely spoken out loud, faces hidden like classified files, Rumi and Sir, especially Sir. For years, fans have been sliding into DMs, dark Reddit threads, and private stan chats asking the same question. Why is Sir practically invisible while Rumi pops up on stages, in campaigns, even on tracks? One ex-Parkwood insider, speaking off the record, claims Beyonce's team runs a full-scale visibility protocol for Sir, timed social media windows, controlled paparazzi leaks, even pre-planned public appearances like chess moves.
No.
Beyonce doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't think Beyonce, and they're not going to share that with her.
Yvette knows. I got the receipts. I still have the receipts.
And here's the real jaw dropper. Jason Lee is claiming he's seen sealed medical documents, files locked down under airtight NDAS, that allegedly paint a very different picture of why Sir has been kept so private. Papers that, if real, would suggest Sir may be living with a condition the public has never been told about, and that's just where the spark turns into a full-blown fire.
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them.
Word from inside LA's high-end wellness scene says some of the wealthiest families are secretly running what insiders call invisible clinics. Hidden behind luxury walls, these spots aren't your regular therapy centers. They're ultra-private, invite-only facilities built for the rich and powerful. We're talking discreet treatment suites, on-call specialists, NDA-locked therapists, and security so tight, it makes the Grammy Green Room look like open mic night.
I don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me.
And guess who's been reportedly seen coordinating high-clearance visits in and out of one specific location near Bel Air? A face straight from Beyonce's own inner circle. Her former assistant, the same one allegedly assigned to handle weekly obligations for the twins. That quote, by the way, came straight from a leaked itinerary Jason Lee claims to have screenshotted back in 2022.
I ain't worried. I ain't going nowhere. I'm telling you right now, I'm not playing this industry game.
Now here's where things get messy. Is this just a protective mother trying to guard her child's privacy from the madness of fame? Or are we staring at a power couple so obsessed with controlling their image that they'll rewrite their own reality just to keep the illusion alive?
Oh, no, that was it. No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
Jason isn't backing down either. He's doubling down. He's flashing blurred corners of envelopes, cropped timestamps, and what he says are fragments of real medical documents tied to private specialists in Brentwood, pediatric neurologists, sensory experts, even behavioral analysts. All of this is allegedly being run through middlemen with direct ties to Roc Nation's legal machine, a fortress built to fight off scandals before they even hit the blogs. If this is all a lie, it's a masterclass level fabrication. But if it's real, the fallout would make that infamous elevator fight video look like a lazy Sunday brunch rumor.
That the most Grammys never won album of the year. That doesn't work.
And now the story takes a darker, more strategic twist. Multiple whispers, including 3 separate insiders we've spoken to, all line up with the same claim. Beyonce's camp has been quietly testing the waters for a public sympathy narrative. Not an open confession, not a press release, but subtle signals setting the stage for a Dear Human 2 reveal about how even the biggest superstars face family challenges. One veteran publicist who's been in this game for decades called it reputation insurance, might a backup parachute in case Jason Lee's alleged files really do go nuclear. The timing is what makes people's eyebrows shoot up. That new venture, Syra Davis.
If we get to the bottom of Tupac's, when that is finally revealed, 15 other will be revealed with it. And you will find that They were all committed by the same two people, father and son.
Some insiders believe it's not just a fresh brand, it's a calculated Trojan horse. A slow, careful way to slip Sir's name into the public eye without actually swinging the door wide open. And if you think that sounds too cold-blooded, just look at the marketing. The Davis in my bones. Come on. So while the public raises their glasses to the glitter and glam of that perfect Carter dynasty, Jason Lee is out here loading what he calls the certified receipts. He hasn't leaked full scans yet, but his tone has shifted. No more cryptic hints, no more baiting. He's speaking like a man who's holding proof, not rumors. And guess what? Beyonce's camp isn't sitting still. Sources claim her team has already started circling the wagons, quietly reaching out to friendly media contacts, the kind who know how to steer a story before it explodes. Several reporters have allegedly been asked to flag any coverage connecting Sir to health speculation. That exact phrase came straight from an email sent by a known Carter PR fixer. And yes, we've seen it.
Obviously, it's subjective because, it's music and it's opinion-based, but, something.
But here's where the plot thickens, and because every story has two sides, and this one has two siblings. The world knows one side, Rumi, the twin we've been allowed to see. Super Bowl cameos, Ivy Park photo shoots, that soft, focused perfection that screams Carter legacy. She even made her musical debut on Cowboy Carter, and the picture-perfect prodigy with mom's magnetism and Blue Ivy's work ethic. But behind that polished image, insiders whisper about a growing pressure that's been building for years. Rumi's being carefully molded into the next generation Carter performer, carrying not just fame, but the silent weight of being the easier twin. And that word didn't come from the internet. It came from a family friend, overheard at an exclusive industry event, describing how the team manages the twins.
I'm not saying allegedly.
Oh.
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston.
Rumi's the easier one to work with, they said. Easier for what, though? Because if you look close at those smiling red carpet photos, those choreographed backstage shots, that picture-perfect Super Bowl moment with Jay-Z and Grandma Tina, but take a closer look, a real close one, and the pattern jumps out like a spotlight. Sir is never fully present. Either he's missing entirely or hidden just enough to keep questions alive. In footage from past events, you can literally see security motioning photographers to move, subtly blocking angles whenever Sir appears nearby. That's not coincidence. That's choreography. Tina Knowles has tried to smooth it over with that sweet grandma charm, saying he's just quiet into books and electronics. But come on, fans aren't buying it anymore, especially when Jay-Z's few slip-ups in interviews only seem to feed the rumors instead of shutting them down. And Beyonce, she's remained totally silent on Sir's development, which stands out even more because she's spoken openly in the past about her own mental health and emotional growth.
You to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce.
And here's the bombshell. Jason Lee says one of the leaked files isn't just a diagnosis. It's reportedly a behavioral and cognitive summary prepared for insurance purposes, detailing specific accommodations requested for Sir in educational environments. That means if the document's legit, the Carters haven't just been aware, they've been quietly managing his needs for years, far from public view. Now, there's nothing wrong with protecting your child. Every parent should, but what's raising eyebrows is the intense secrecy. The perfectly crafted image designed to make it seem like everything is picture perfect. In a world where celebrities cash in on authenticity, where every tear and triumph is branded and sold, when does a carefully edited truth cross the line and become a calculated lie? What really makes people stop and think isn't just the gossip, it's what this could mean for how the world views autism inside celebrity culture. Because if the most powerful couple in entertainment truly went this far to protect or hide their son's truth, what message does that send to every regular family trying to make neurodiversity feel normal and accepted? That silence equals strength, or that difference is still something to disguise? One Hollywood media strategist we spoke to didn't hold back. They called this whole situation a ticking PR flashpoint, a reckoning waiting to happen. Because if those alleged documents ever hit the public and the Carters stay quiet, it won't look like privacy anymore. It'll look like shame. And in 2025, shame is a brand killer. You can lose millions, not for what you do, but for what you hide. Even Ye, in his wild, unpredictable way, seemed to sniff out that weakness. Remember that now-deleted tirade? The one where he brought up the twins? That wasn't random, that was surgical. He could have dragged Beyonce's music, Jay-Z's NFL money, or Ivy Park's fading hype, but no, he aimed straight for Sir and Rumi's mental capacity, because he knew that's where the armor cracks. He didn't hit the fame, he hit the family, the one place no one dares to go, the Carter family's most private vault. And now that secret chamber is cracking open, not with a screaming tabloid headline, but with quiet, deliberate pressure. Whisper by whisper, screenshot by screenshot, and one very loud voice leading the charge. Jason Lee, the ex-Hollywood unlocked boss who swears he's just getting started. His most explosive claim yet? That the leaked documents don't just mention autism, they allegedly trace the timeline of when it was discovered. According to him, the Carters have known since the twins were toddlers that children have been shaping every public move, every appearance, and every narrative around that reality ever since. Sources say the papers go deep, referencing controlled social environments, adaptive communication plans, and even specialized schooling arrangements made under assumed names. Yeah, you heard that right. Aliases. One education consultant from LA's elite prep school circuit claims Sir might be enrolled under a false identity to stay invisible to the media. Sounds wild, but come on. This is the same family that trademarked all three of their children's names before they could even walk. If Jason Lee ever drops these files in full, the shockwave won't just hit the Carters, it'll rattle the entire image-driven culture they helped create. This wouldn't just be about Sir's privacy, it would be about power, control, and the empire built on the illusion of transparency. Because for years, we've seen Blue Ivy winning Grammys, Beyonce giving relatable mom interviews, and Jay-Z talking legacy. But behind all that, were we just watching a perfectly scripted performance? The world bought the dream. The Carter family as America's royal household. But what if the crown jewels of that perfect Carter narrative, the twins themselves, have been ghost-written this whole time? What if one of those ghosts isn't a co-writer but a diagnosis, the very thing Beyonce's team has allegedly spent millions to keep locked away from the public eye? Imagine the lengths, contracts, lawyers, shadow campaigns, all built to bury one truth no one's allowed to say out loud. And yet, as shocking as those leaked summaries and whisper campaigns may be, the loudest silence in this entire saga doesn't come from the Carters themselves, it comes from everyone around them. Because while Jason Lee keeps dropping breadcrumbs and fans scramble to connect the dots, a much darker current is swirling under the surface. It's what insiders call the industry silence pact. Not written, not signed, but understood. A quiet code among A-listers, executives, influencers, and so-called friends who've stood on the same yacht decks, at the same pre-Grammy brunches, at the same ultra-private parties hosted by Beyonce and Jay-Z, and seen things they'll never, ever admit in public. We've traced the guest list, we've seen the names, stylists with DNA-level access to the twins' wardrobes, publicists who've handpicked front-row seats for star-studded family moments. These aren't strangers peeking through blinds. These are insiders, people who've literally watched Rumi blossom in plain sight while Sir is quietly steered away, ushered off camera like a state secret. And yet not one of them, not a single celebrity, not a single influencer, has dared to go public about the glaring discrepancy. Not when asked in interviews, not when pressed off the record, not even when Ye himself dragged the twins into his infamous social media meltdown and crossed a line almost everyone in Hollywood pretends doesn't exist. And that right there might be the biggest clue of all. Because Ye doesn't move randomly, his chaos has patterns. Those disturbing posts aimed at Sir and Rumi weren't just rants. According to two former associates we spoke to, they were warnings. Strategic chaos designed to rattle the silence, to push at the one vault nobody dares to open. His now infamous post, questioning the twins' mental capacity, was deleted within minutes. But not before it set off a wildfire in insider DMs, not before industry veterans began whispering that Ye had gone there for a reason, that he wasn't shooting blind, he was signaling because he knew something fragile was real. So why the silence? Because it's fear. Plain and simple. The Carters aren't just entertainers, they're a living institution, a power couple whose reach stretches from Silicon Valley boardrooms to the White House guest list. Their influence runs so deep that one whisper from their camp can freeze careers overnight. Beyonce's control over her empire is legendary. Her collaborators don't just sign contracts, they sign lifelong vows of silence, NDAs, thicker than Hollywood scripts. One insider told us about a backup dancer who got disciplined for simply mentioning the twins' names in a private group chat. Another, a former assistant, swears they were dismissed after asking why Sir didn't appear at a family photo shoot. The message couldn't be clearer. Speed, So, can't you which will white speak, and you disappear. But beyond the hush orders and quiet firings lies a deeper contradiction, one that cuts right through the Carter brand. Beyonce has built her entire image on empowerment, compassion, and inclusion. She's spoken about self-love, praised mental resilience, and celebrated neurodiversity from every platform she owns. Her songs are anthems for the misunderstood, yet when it comes to her own son's alleged truth, the silence is deafening. No openness, no discussion, just flawless choreography and carefully edited motherhood. Every photo, every public moment feels staged to perfection. A picture of balance hiding a world of control underneath. And now fans are asking the real question. Can someone preach acceptance to millions while allegedly concealing it inside their own home? Now let's talk about legacy, because for Jay-Z, that word isn't just business, it's identity. Remember that line? I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. What started as a flex in a verse has become the Carter family's full-blown mission statement. Lately, Jay's interviews have been all about fatherhood, time, balance, showing up for his kids, the rebranded grown man era. But behind the PR glow, insiders are telling a different story. Sources close to Roc Nation claim Jay wasn't always around during Sir's early developmental years, too busy touring, building title, and locking billion-dollar partnerships to notice what was happening at home. And when the alleged diagnosis came in, as if it's real, reports say the house turned tense. Two former Roc Nation staffers even allege there were behind closed doors meetings where the question was brutally clear. Do they integrate Sir's reality into the Carter brand or erase it entirely? According to those same insiders, they chose door number 2, silence. And now that choice is coming back to haunt them. Because the world has changed. The era of perfect filters and polished illusions is collapsing. Beyonce's Renaissance era, this rebirth she's selling, is supposed to be about truth, visibility, and freedom. But how real can it be if one of her biggest truths is still locked away in the dark? Rumi gets cameos, Blue Ivy wins Grammys and voiceovers, but Sir stays a whisper, a name on a birth certificate, a blurred face in a holiday photo, a presence hidden behind bodyguards and media filters, and now fans are connecting the dots. And that's exactly why their latest pivot has the industry side-eyeing hard. If you pay attention, you can see the signs. A sudden wave of candid family photos that don't feel candid at all. Extra screen time for Rumi, and little whispered mentions of Sir tucked inside promo campaigns. Even that new Sir Davis brand is giving damage control. A soft rollout of visibility that still avoids addressing the elephant standing right in the middle of the Carter empire. One PR insider we spoke to didn't mince words, and they called it emotional laundering, the art of appearing inclusive without ever showing what's actually being excluded. In other words, it's a polished kind of hypocrisy. That looks warm and empowering on the surface, but underneath it's all strategy. And the scary part, that strategy spreading. Within fan circles and parenting communities, the debate is heating up. People are asking, is this protection or erasure? Is Beyonce's silence around Sir's alleged condition an act of love or a PR move that's gone way too far? Parents of neurodiverse kids are starting to speak up, calling out the contradiction in her image. They once saw her as the symbol of modern motherhood, but now they're demanding accountability, saying, representation doesn't count if it's only staged, because real representation isn't curated. It's lived, it's raw, it's shown, and it's messy sometimes. Which leads us to the truth no PR team can control. Documents can be sealed, friends can be silenced, words can be banned from interviews, but reality always finds a way to leak through. And right now, those cracks are spreading faster than the Carters can patch them, because Jason Lee, he's not backing off, because Ye already cracked the seal, and because too many people have seen too much for this to stay quiet. The question isn't if, it's when. What happens when the dam finally bursts, when the receipts land in the public domain, and Beyonce's team can no longer spin or sanitize the narrative? What happens when Sir stops being a name on paper and becomes a person the world can actually see? Not a rumor, but a reality. When that moment comes, the Carter empire will be standing at a crossroads. Do they come clean and claim the mantle of protectors? Or do they double down and risk being seen as gatekeepers of an illusion they spent decades building? And here's the thought we leave you with tonight. If the perfect image was always a mask, what else might be hiding behind it? How long can the most powerful couple in pop culture hold back the truth before it boils over? And when it does, what will it cost? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Is this silence protection or is it performance? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, and we'll see you on the next one. This story is only just getting started.